I'm a math guy, Steve. Let's try solving this inequality. So in solving inequalities, especially of quadratic form, meaning the highest power of x here is 2, then to solve these inequalities, we say get 0 on one side, then we'll factor the other side, set each factor equal to 0. It's as if we're pretending this is an equal sign. Okay, so let's pretend it's an equal sign and solve it just like we would an equation. But then after that, we're going to use a number line to kind of find out, okay, which regions, which set of numbers, which group of numbers, which gang of numbers, okay, make this inequality a true statement, okay? So let's try it. First, we already have 0 on one side. That works. Now we factor the other side, or use a quadratic formula, or completing the square, any method to solve a quadratic. So pretending it's an equal sign, we got 0 on one side, we'll factor this other side. We have it's 3 terms with a 1 in front of the x squared, so we go to double bubble, okay? X and x. And now we use numbers that multiply to give me 27 and combine to give me negative 12. So in this case, we'll say that's negative 9 and negative 3. Okay. So we got 0 on one side. We factor the other side. Now we set each factor equal to 0. So pretending this is an equal sign. Okay. So we would get, okay, x minus 9 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. We solve each of those separately. All right, let's see. Here we add 9, so x equals 9. And here add 3, so x equals 3. Okay, so if this was an equal sign, those would be the solutions to the equation. Alas, this is not an equal sign. Got it. So we said we use a number line, okay? In other words, we'll split our number line into 3 different parts. So that number 3 and number 9 kind of split up the number line into 3 different regions, okay? Stuff that's less than 3, stuff that's between 3 and 9, and then numbers that are bigger than 9, okay? And so we'll pick numbers in each region. We call them test points, test values, okay? And we'll test each region and see which ones work, which ones satisfy the inequality. So like here, a number less than 3, we pick convenient numbers, right? Like 0. That works. That's a good number. Okay, just to plug in and see if we get a true statement. If we plug in a number between 3 and 9, say 4. 4 is a good number to plug in, okay? I'll plug in a number bigger than 9, so say 10. Got it, okay. And now we'll test each of those regions, plug those numbers into the inequality, see if we get a true statement, okay? Let's try it. Okay, let's test it. Let's plug in 0. Okay, we plug in 0, we get 0 squared minus 12 times 0 plus 27. Is that greater than 0? Well, that gives us what? 27 is greater than 0. So that satisfies the inequality. That one checks out. Okay, so that whole region, all the numbers less than 3. Since that test point did, all those numbers in that region satisfy the inequality. Okay, all right, here, if I plug in 4, that's 4 squared minus 12 times 4 plus 27. Is that greater than 0? Well, that's what? 16 minus 48 plus 27. Is that greater than 0? That gives us what? 43 minus 48. That's negative 5, which is not greater than 0. So 4 doesn't work, so none of the regions, none of the numbers in that region work. Numbers between 3 and 9. Okay. All right, what about the numbers bigger than 9? So we said 10 is a test point. Let's see, 10 squared minus 12 times 10 plus 27. Okay. Is that greater than 0? Well, that's 100 minus 120 plus 27. Is that bigger than 0? Yeah, 127 minus 1, so 7 is greater than 0. So that one checks. Okay. So the regions that work, the numbers that work are the numbers that are smaller than 3 and bigger than 9. Okay, so how we write that is we say, okay, well, all of them are smaller than 3. That would be negative infinity to 3. And then also, so in union with the numbers that are bigger than 9, so from 9 to infinity. All right, notice we put parentheses on that 3 and 9. If it was an equal sign underneath the inequality, so greater than or equal to, we put brackets on those numbers, okay? All right, so again, solving quadratic inequalities like this aren't too bad. Just treat it like an equal sign. We get the 0 on one side, factor the other side, set each factor equal to 0. But then after that, use those numbers as kind of barriers on your number line, split the number lines into pieces, and plug in test points in each region, okay? Always remember, math